righty, here we go at 10:35 on this 11th day of January. We are right back here in downtown Alton. Al Womack joins me now because we had a little bit of breaking news yesterday. Might have been a little bit early, but Al Womack, throwing your hat in the ring for Alton School Board. This has been some time coming. I think it definitely is the right path for you after all the work at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, most definitely, and it did come out early. Yeah. The intention was to release it in February, but some people already knew. So it is what it is, and I'm excited. There's some excitement around it. Just looking forward to being able to be a part, of like the education process, being a part of the decision making that goes into educating our young people who are our future. Right.
Because I've always said, and I've heard it before, and I thought it was just a great analogy, students and the youth are basically our investment for the future.
It really is.
Take us through that. So I'll ask you about your campaign ideas, your platform here in a second, but talk to us about your work with the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, right off the bat, I'm going, well, that puts you on a pretty good path to work with the students and education system.
Right. So in my 25 years, we've always had a great relationship with the Alton School District. I've always had like a great deal of respect for the work that comes out of our district, the leadership that's in our district, even the board, the current school board. So I've always respected, everyone that's been a part of that process. The flip side of that is, we have students, we have teachers, and just over the last 2 or 3 years, just hearing, teachers feel like that, they're not being heard.
Right.
Does the board really, is the board really aware of, their concerns and their needs?
Right.
And again, I think we have a great leadership team, and I want to be a part of that. Again, a part of that, but I also want teachers and educators to know that there is a caring board member, and I'm sure we have some now, but I also want to add to that, that there's caring board members, and we hear you. I think it's important that we recruit and retain good quality teachers.
Exactly.
And I know that's been a challenge. So I want to be a part of that process of really helping our district move forward.
And I'm sure you've thought about this quite often over the past couple of years. Sometimes people make the impromptu decision, let's run for something. Was that you, or did you give this some thought?
Oh, no, I'm a thinker. I'm a deep thinker. So I'm just not going to jump into something. And I don't think you get involved just to say you've done something either. So, you want to add value and bring value to whatever it is you're doing. And that's the intention. So it's not, something I just want to jump into. But again, it's just something I've paid attention to for a number of years.
Well, and too, I think you really highlighted a great point that, for everyone out there that maybe is on the board and going, well, what the heck, man? You know what? You aren't here to take anyone's job. You're just here to add on to a board that, I think needs a little bit of help. And your work and work ethic and passion, I think, has been pretty much staple in the community the last couple of years.
And again, it's just the work I've done in the community.
Yeah.
It's the work. I mean, it's my livelihood, what I do.
Right.
But it also revolves around our future. It revolves around young people. So just again, making sure that there's a voice for the community, being on that board, and then people know that there's board members that do care. There's board members that's listening.
Yeah.
And again, those people exist on the board right now.
Right.
I want to add to that.
Exactly. And that's what I think, honestly, the way you announced it was really well done. And when did the process start for this? I know with city elections, it starts a couple months beforehand or maybe even up to a year. What was the process like for you?
So the initial steps were, I want to say, went back to December 12th. You had to file your petition. You had to have at least 50 signatures to file a petition to be on the ballot. And I was able to secure a little bit better than 50 signatures. So I turned in several petitions just to make sure that I had a good position to be a candidate.
Because sometimes they like throwing names out of those.
They do. So I turned in 150 names.
Just in case.
There should be at least, there should be some good names in there.
Well, and take us through what your platform is, what your ideas are, if you are elected or not. By the way, the election is on April 4th. I know, yes, another one's coming.
It is. And hopefully people get out and vote.
Yes, that's important.
This is important. All elections are important because you get to pick your next decision makers, or so-called leaders. I don't know if I have a platform. Again, as many conversations as I've had, I'm just one vote, one voice on that board. But again, the biggest thing is I want to make sure that our educators know that I hear them. I'm sharing their concerns with the rest of the board and with the rest of the leadership. Our parents, I know there's a segment of our community that doesn't feel like the board members or
Yeah.
the district cares,
Right.
or that they even hear them or see them. Again, I want to be that board member that acknowledges that we see you, we hear you, and just kind of confirm that we're here for you.
Right. And I'm sure with your position, you've heard the gauntlet of stories from past maybe discrepancies or maybe just disgruntled residents in the community school district, and I'm sure that's kind of propelled that a little bit more too.
It has because again, if you can get a quality education, in the Alton School District,
Right.
and some people don't realize that, or they don't realize that. So again, I want to help spread that message that you can get a quality education, that this district cares about you, our leadership, our administrators care about you, but they just, I think we got some more work to do to make
Right.
sure that the community and people that feel left out, that they know and just know that there's somebody there.
Well, it seems like there's always one, group, and it's different for every, industry or any type of field, that always feels a little disconnected from everyone else. And I think it's great to basically utilize a platform to really bring in that, group that feels a little bit left out and not a part of that decision making.
Exactly. And I really think over the last couple of years, again, there's a segment of the community, but then there's a segment of educators.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I've heard it where they think the board is disconnected and the board doesn't care. So just listening to all that,
Yep.
If that's the case, let's change that. Let's change that narrative. Let's change that narrative so that everyone feels like that, they've been heard and that we care as a group.
At least, yeah, exactly. At least whenever they call the school board office or they talk to a member, at least they know, hey, this individual at least listened to me and at least heard what I had to say.
Exactly. I want to be accessible. And again, I'm not a big fan of politics.
Right. No, that's what I was going to ask you. That was my next one.
So when you say what's a platform, again, it's just quality education.
Yeah.
Supporting administrators that we have and how and working together on how we advance this school district and advance our kids so that, we have young people going off doing great things and securing jobs and education and things that make them a better person.
And now, has this been one of those things where people have reached out to you? I'm sure people have asked you time and time again to maybe throw your hat in the ring years prior. Has anyone reached out going, it's about time?
No, nobody.
Not yet.
no, nobody said it's about time. It's really been more congratulations,
Really?
and good luck. And at the end of the day, I've had some conversations where the voters are going to decide.
Exactly.
It's going to go one or two ways. Either voters are going to say we're happy with the current board that we have,
right, or
we want to see some change. And my motto right now is change is good. And I've always kind of approached things that way. Change is good. I don't care what it is I'm doing. If I feel like I've been doing it too long, let me go do something different, or let me let somebody else step in. So I've heard, more people stop and say, change is good, Al. So we like the fact that you're going to run, because we've had board members that's been on the board for a number of years.
Exactly.
And again, it's no knock to them, but maybe it's time to get some fresh ideas,
new perspectives
brought to the table. Exactly.
And now with this, I know there's going to be people watching this that want to reach out and help you. And how is the best way to kind of follow your campaign and follow your progress here as we lead up to April?
Because I have not started any campaigning.
Right.
I've had some people, already contact me and say, hey, we want to make a pledge or donate to a campaign. That information I hope to release in February.
Okay.
Hey, here's where we're going with things. So I'll do more right now through my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. I'll do more in terms of keeping people updated on here's how you can support the campaign. But then I do want to hear concerns. Again, I don't have a platform or an agenda. I really want to make sure that we just we're doing right by the community and right by those who feel like they're being left out.
I don't know if I've ever heard a candidate for any position go, well, I want to hear people. Normally, you're right, because it's refreshing to hear, because normally when you do these interviews, they go, oh, well, I want to lower admission rates, and I want to, it's like...
Yeah, no. I want to hear people. I want to just make sure we're doing right by them. And we have a great leader in Christy Baumgartner.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And she has a great team. So the intention is not to go in and try to disrupt anything that they have going. It's how can I help support this? But then if I'm hearing ideas, if I'm hearing concerns or gripes, I want to be able to share that with that leadership team and the rest of the board members. And let's just make sure that everybody's getting a great experience in the Alton School District.
Without a doubt. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's segue a little bit here. A portion of getting petitions, you're in that process. What was the most difficult part of it that you weren't expecting?
I don't know if anything was difficult about it.
Good.
I really don't. It was the support is there. So if people are going to
gotcha.
if people are going to sign your petition, they need to know who you are
Yep.
and what you're running for. And it's like, oh, without a doubt, So it was a no-brainer for some people to want to sign the petition. It was like, oh, school board, we think that we think you'll be great.
Yep.
I've had people nudge me for other offices.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I was going to ask you.
right now, this is important. This is important to me. It's important to me that we make a difference in our young people's education. So this is the most important thing that I could do right now.
Absolutely. And, I guess that kind of puts us right at a perfect point here for anyone that's candidate for school where my chair broke. What are we going to do about it? No.
Right.
No.
Get your new chair.
Yeah, right. Well, what I think would be cool is, maybe just as we wrap this up, if someone's listening right now, what's your kind of message to them ahead of February before things come out? It's not, your campaign platform or anything, but what's your message to them if they're a little bit curious about the announcement?
Really, again, I'm accessible.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not hard to find. So I would love to have a conversation with anyone that had concerns about, just sharing thoughts or concerns as it relates to Alton School District. I can't even guarantee I have the answers, but let's find the answers. I think it's just taking that approach. Let's get answers.
Exactly.
And let's, again, we have to work together collectively as a community to advance like the just the education in this community.
Well, you're right, because I think so many times we experience individuals, and I'm not saying the school board per se, but just anywhere, that, if they can't find the answer, it kind of just, that's it. It's over. We aren't going to look any further.
Right.
And you've shown in past experience that you're going to find an answer, or at least do some research to see.
Exactly. So we just need everybody for the betterment of our community to have a great experience. I mean, if you have children that are coming through this district, we want people to come through the Alton School District, and everybody needs to have a great experience. And let's be honest, everybody has not had a great experience.
Exactly.
Right?
You got to be
So some
honest.
people are sour about their experiences. Mm-hmm. How do we fix that? How do we fix that? So it's having people that we think are listening to us and that are addressing our concerns, whether you can fix them or not. We hear you. We'll attempt to address them. So.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to actually the best thing to wrap up on is I think the best point you made is the educators that feel a little disconnected. And I've heard this even when I was in St. Louis in radio. We had people that were in the school district that went into a different profession, and they felt left out and dejected.
And so that's huge because, again, we need good educators. We need people that really are committed, and I think we have a lot of committed educators, but they have to know that downtown, they have to know that the board is behind them.
Yep.
I have some thoughts. We have to do whatever it takes to retain good educators, and maybe there's some things we can look at to make sure how we retain them, but we need to keep them, and they need to know that we value them.
All I have to ask you is one more question. On April 4th, if you win, you give me a phone call and you let me know how you're feeling.
I sure will. I sure will. I will. I'll let you know.
That was the tough question of the interview.
Yeah. I was prepared for something tough, but no, I'll call you and let you know how I'm feeling.
Absolutely, and we'll have you on if you need to every step of the way, and we'll keep people informed. We're going to keep everyone informed ahead of the elections on April 4th. So many local positions up for grabs, and Al, with you here right now, no better time to say this. Local elections are the most important as it pertains to you directly. National elections, important. Governor elections, important. But these ones, they really affect you right off the bat, decisions that are made here locally. And Al Womack looking to do some good work for the community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
10:49, a quick break. We wrap up our daily show on this 11th day of January in the heart of the Riverbend.